Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk, and so we're going to enter a contest today. And this contest is being sponsored by a fairly new channel called Jason's Vinyl Lab. I guess they make the vinyls in the Vinyl Lab. And so, Jason, we know he's a big Metallica fan. I think the prize is you get the new Metallica album, and the questions are sort of geared around that. So, let's get into it. He's got 5 questions. So, first one, he wants us to show favorite Metallica album. Fortunately, I have one. Actually, I own like 3 Metallica albums, maybe 4. So, anyway, I'm showing Master of Puppets. And so I have it on the Walmart battery brick vinyl. I had this on cassette back in the day. Battery, Master of Puppets, Damage Incorporated. Lots of really cool songs on here. And I am definitely partial to the earliest part of Metallica's career. Next, he wants us to show a yellow vinyl album. So I'm going to go with King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. My collection is slowly starting to grow of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. This is my third one. So this is called Flying Microtonal Banana. So this was, I think, the first album where they started experimenting with microtonal stuff. I'm not a big music theory guy, so find somebody else to get that. So it's on this translucent, sort of greenish yellow vinyl here. I guess it's sort of like a banana, maybe one that's not totally ripe yet. And of course, you've got that cool psychedelic sound, trancy, jammy, rattlesnake, which is the first song, leads us in really well. I always find the King Gizzard stuff kind of blends together, so it's not like I'm necessarily looking for specific tracks. And it's something I picked up pretty recently. Another fairly recent purchase is going to be my purple vinyl. It's also got kind of this purplish cover. So this is the Darts with Snake Oil. The Darts are a female garage punk band that are on the Alternative Tentacles label. So you can see the dark purple swirly with black. There's the Alternative Tentacles bat. And so it's you've got like fuzzy guitars and bass, but there's like the farfisa and the Hammond organ that comes in as well. And so there you go. You can see the songs are fairly short. Love Tsunami, Snake Oil, You Just Love Yourself. And so they warn you on the front that this may contain traces of fuzz guitar, male tears, and germanium particles. So Darts, they're a fun band. The 11th album from a band. Well, this will be the 11th U.S. studio album by this band, according to Wikipedia. If I'm mistaken on this, then you can correct me, but I'm relying on Wikipedia and the fact that I live in the U.S. So I'm going to use a little-known British band called the Rolling Stones here. And so, of course, this is not an original pressing. This is a recent reissue of an album called Sticky Fingers. Mine does not have a functioning zipper on it. And so we know the obvious songs on here are like Brown Sugar and Brown Sugar, Wild Horses. But I actually like the song Sway, which is the second song on here the most. And so it's got really cool guitar by Mick Taylor on there. In fact, the 90s alternative band Tentacle, which came out of the breakup of the Blake Babies, their first album is called Sway and it was named after that song. And they were originally going to name the band Sway, but apparently there was another band called Sway out there, and so they came up with a different band name, but still called their album that. And finally, he wants an album with a 7 in it, so I'm going to go for a Canadian power trio, Triumph. An album called Thunder 7. And so this is the only Triumph album I own. This is probably, if you're only going to own one Triumph album, maybe it shouldn't be Thunder 7. But this was, I got this on cassette when I was a teenager. I think I had some Triumph on like a compilation as well. And so Follow Your Heart's a pretty cool song. Spellbound, the lead off song on here. And this is something a couple years ago, my local record store had. Um, my local record store, I lost my train of thought there. I'm not going to edit it out. My local record store had bought a big collection and they hadn't put it out on the floor yet. But the guy let me in the back room to look through stuff. And so that was one of the things I picked out, and I got it for. I got like 3 records for like $5. So he was feeling pretty generous that day. So that's my story. So I showed you Metallica Master of Puppets. I showed you Yellow Vinyl by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Showed you Purple Vinyl by the Darts. They're from Phoenix, by the way. And the 11th album from the Rolling Stones and Triumph's Thunder 7. And so, looking forward to more from Jason's Vinyl Lab.